Good morning. Today is Thursday, January 29th. The time is 8:30, and I'd like to call to order the Albany Parking Authority full board meeting. In attendance are myself, Solomon Jones, Bill Pettit, Jen Saponis, and Chris Burke is excused. Have members had a chance to read over the minutes?
Yes,
Can I get a motion to accept the minutes?
so moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Reports from the governance committee. We met on January 23rd, 2026 to consider nominations for vice chair, treasurer, and secretary. The committee recommended the board to the following nominations: Jordan Jones for vice chairman, Jennifer Saponis for secretary, and William Pettit III for treasurer. We also reviewed the 2025 ACA mission statement and recommended that the board make no changes for 2026. We also reviewed the 2025 performance goals and attainments and recommended no additional changes for 2026. And we recommended the approval of the 2025 performance goal attainments. The committee reviewed committee assignments and recommended to the board that there be no changes to those assignments. And lastly, we reviewed ABO board member training and found that one board member, William Pettit III, should undergo training. I need a motion to accept our recommendations.
So moved.
Need a motion, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Bill. A second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. We'll formally do that through the resolution. We'll take up resolution 2026-01-01. Whereas pursuant to New York Public Authority law, we are nominating the following aforementioned officers to the position. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Next, we'll approve the mission statement and annual performance measurement and come through resolution 2026-01-02. Can I get a motion for that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you. Next, we will have report from the finance. Bill, take it away.
Thank you. The Finance Committee met January 23rd, 2026. I'll briefly go through a summary of what we covered. December financial statement summary. In December, total revenue amounted to $1,020,000, while total expenses were $986,630, resulting in net income of $33,369. Our total expenses for the month were high due to our annual NYSLRS payment, which was $411,757. Special events revenue increased by $10,000. Top three events in December were Steve Martin and Martin Short, Whiskey Myers from France, Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Year-end summary: compared to 2025 budget, our revenue was 116,000% of budget, which includes the transfer from the trustee account to make the debt service payment, $918,024. Expenses were 100% budget. All parking revenue streams exceeded 2025 budget projections. Quick review of the investment portfolios. Debt service account had a balance of $377,524. Short-term account had a balance of $1,161,106. Long-term account had a balance of $740,272, and the EV charger account had a balance of $34,586. And finally, the fourth quarter, we reviewed our quarterly meter and enforcement revenue and expense. In the fourth quarter, our meter revenues were $696,184, and expenses were $114,793. The meter expense include the meter licensing fee, which we are paying this month. Enforcement revenue was were 1,207,266 and 23,023 tickets issued. Thank you very much. That is our report.
Thank you, Bill. Moving on to enforcement numbers.
Enforcement numbers, nothing has changed since communicated in our finance meeting. I just wanted to point out that, the 2025 end of year, enforcement revenue came in at $4,671,898 compared to last year, $4,409,100, I'm sorry, $727 dollars. So, our enforcement crew killed it this past year. I believe that's a difference of $190,000 ahead of last year's numbers. So, good job to enforcement. Is there any questions?
Great job, Doug and the team. Good to see that all the changes that you guys have been making to the positive are, coming into effect and positively impacting the authority and the things that we're trying to do as far as enforcement.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Communication?
I have none. New business, RFP and project updates. We are wrapping up the 2024 and 2025 repairs this coming spring. Reason being is that we had some weather dependent materials that need to be applied to the garage decks, i.e. Membrane. Besides that, they have been doing some small items, weather permitting, a little bit of concrete work, some standpipe work, but they're pretty much done for this season.
That'll resume in spring when.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Heated sidewalks project, we have obtained a quote from our engineer to provide construction docs and project management services. It's about 9 to 10% of the project, of what we think the project will cost, which is a little over $1 million. That percentage is typical for project management. TWNA usually charges a 10% rate for, any project, small or large. So I don't know if that's something we need to deal with today.
We'd have a resolution.
A resolution
for the next board,
for the
yeah.
next board meeting. The quarterly trend analysis. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it okay to move on now?
Yeah.
Quarterly trend analysis, Kevin?
Sure.
Cool. So we finished the year pretty good. We actually had a 2.4% increase in active passes year over year. We finished 2,279 active monthly passes versus 2,225. So we had a growth of 54 passes at the end of the year. We saw a 30% growth in our individual passes year over year and 22% growth in our residential passes. So strong year for passes. Really, we were expecting to be flat, so it's nice to see a little growth. We made up a lot of difference on lower cost passes that were eliminated. So yeah, for December, we stayed flat year over year. We added 39 new passes and only lost 10 passes in the month. So we netted 29 passes in December. Which added $5,000 in revenue to our active passes. And then events, nights, weekends. We did in December, we did $73,652 in revenue from events, nights, and weekend parking. This was about a 70% increase over last December. Pure events, we did $61,891 in December. And for nights and weekends, we stayed fairly flat from the year before at $11,761 in revenue. Overall, when we compare it to 2023, we saw nearly a 30% increase of event revenue. We did have a shortfall year over year. That was primarily due to last year having NCAA and Fish, which accounted for $130,000 of event revenue in 2 events. So we had strong growth on our standard business. It's just there was 2 oddballs last year that there's just no way to recover from. And yeah, the biggest event we had in December was Steve Martin and Martin Short at the Palace.
Good.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Kevin.
Yep.
Meter updates, the Albany expansion. This is just a program that we're gonna revisit in spring. It's been successful so far. We have a little under 600 spaces that are currently app only. The goal is to get rid of the 132 single space meters that we have out there now, and some more multi-space meters as well in lower occupied areas. And it's proven to save us a ton of money in operating costs and back office fees.
For those individual meters, are they clustered in certain areas?
They are, yeah. If they're not, then they're handicapped.
Okay.
Yeah.
The handicap stay.
Yeah, I would leave the handicaps in just so that they have multiple ways to pay, even though I think the app would be much easier for handicapped folks to use, but we want to be able to give them the option. EV charger update. So we've implemented the idle fee. It's been successful so far. The total sessions are slightly lower year to date, but the revenue and charging times are up and overstay minutes are down, and no complaints so far, just showing that it's working.
So that means that people were leaving them there, not charging.
That's
So
right.
that's gone and just charging.
Yes.
Cool. That's the point.
So they're being used as intended. And the usage for the year is slightly up by $540 compared to last year. So I would say that we're plateaued until we start to see some further growth in the city, which we are. So, any questions about EVs? Bill, especially?
No.
Perfect.
Great updates.
Grant updates. So we have been talking to ESD, their contract team. The contract team is reviewing for the final disbursement. I'm sorry, but it is going to take another 12 to 16 weeks to.
You didn't say months. Like
No.
Maybe by the end of it.
12 to 16 weeks. So we'll.
When was that
I'll step
originally
along.
due to be?
I think like a year and a half ago, or almost 2 years ago, we should have. some money in there.
2023.
Yeah.
2023?
When we
At what
finish.
point do we write it off as uncollectible?
Well,
We don't want to do that.
we're gonna collect.
Yeah.
We're gonna collect.
At what point do we sue them?
No.
The window might be gone. Is this the last set of reimbursements that we need? Fingers crossed. for staff.
And that's all I have for grant updates.
Any unfinished business?
No unfinished business.
Any need for executive session?
Yes, ma'am, for legal matters, discussions regarding proposed, pending, or current litigation. That may be excused except for, Mitzi and Alan.
Have a motion to go into executive?
So moved, we go into executive session for the reasons John stated.
All in favor? Thank you. So the board came out of executive session. No action was taken in the board. The Is there any other business that board members would like to bring up? Right, seeing none, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Thank you
Yeah.
all.